how to play Morgan Wallen's Last Night guitar part. Looks and sounds like this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Swift Lessons for a speedy breakdown of this very simple riff that we're hearing on Morgan Wallen's Last Night. Now basically what's happening here is the guitar player is tuned down a half step. So our strings are E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat again. Now, there's two guitars on the original track, and at least one of them is a 12 string, so it's gonna sound a little bit different on a 6-string guitar. Now, what we have is 3 different variations of the same riff. The only thing that's changing is the tail end, a little tag on the end of the riff. For the majority of the tune, it's just alternating back and forth between variation 1 and variation 2, but then, whenever we need to get into a chorus, we'll throw in variation number 3 and climb up the fretboard. So once again, variation number 1 is going to look and sound like this. Okay, so there we're starting off grabbing the 3rd fret of the A string and 2nd fret of the D string. We can think of this as being kind of like a C chord. Okay, now I'm speaking as if we're in standard tuning, so we're actually playing in the key of B, but for all intents and purposes, think of this as just being a C chord. All right, we're going to pick through that chord, A, D, G, A. Take that exact position up a full step. We're gonna slide into this position and do the exact same picking pattern. So. Okay, next, we're going up to a position that we can think of as being E minor. All right, so now I'm grabbing the 7th fret of the A string and the 5th fret of the D string, and just picking through the strings. All right, you put that together, and so far we have. Now I'm finding the most comfortable picking pattern is down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. All right, but you can also alternate if you like. Alright, from there we're going to use our pinky, slide 7 up to 9, back to 7, then we're going to play 5 sliding down to 4, and then followed by the open G string. Add that into the mix and we have. Alright, from there we have variation number 2, which is going to look and sound like this. Okay, so same thing on the C, same thing on the D, but now when we get to the E minor, we're gonna play. That was A, D, G, A. Next, the pinky's gonna go to the D string. All right, slid 7 up to 9, back, and then 5 down to 4. Okay, so very similar to what we played before, but now it's on the D string and we're omitting that final open string. Okay, you put those two variations together and it should sound like this. Variation number 1. Okay, so those are going to alternate back and forth for the entire verse. But then, just before getting into the chorus section, there's this nice high melody going on. Okay, so this is variation number 3. Looks and sounds like this, real slow. Okay, so we started off, same exact thing, the C, sliding. Then, on the E minor chord, A, D, G, then. Alright, so I slid up to the 8th fret of the B string, coupling that with the open high E string. Next, I'm going down to 7 and hammering up a half step. Next, we're going to grab 10 on the high E string and slide up a full step to fret number 12. Okay, you put that together and we have... Alright, just like that, if you can play those 3 different variations, then you're ready to perform. Congratulations. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed this little mini lesson. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And please let me know what song you'd like for me to break down next. I want to thank my patrons for making all my videos possible. I hope you're enjoying all those extra resources at patreon.com/whiplessons. And until next time, this is Rob coming at you from the Jersey Shore, saying happy picking.